Hello. Today's episode number 34 of the Professor Slots podcast discusses Winning Strategy 5, Reliable Holiday Patterns. Plus, in this episode, I'll be covering the current state of slot machine casino gambling in the great U.S. states of New York, North Carolina, and North Dakota. Thank you for joining me for the Professor Slots podcast show. I'm John Friedel, and this is the podcast about slot machine casino gambling. It is where I provide the knowledge, insights, and tools for helping you improve your slot machine gambling performance.
John Friedel from the Professor Slots blog reveals all his tips and tricks for thriving in the casino environment. Choose winning slot machines and identify your gambling goals. Being entertained, earning comps, winning take-home cash, or combining them. John has won 90 taxable jackpots and a luxury car in 9 months of slot play and made a profit at slots gambling since 2013.
In case you missed it, on my last episode I went over Winning Strategy 4, Casino Special Events, or more descriptively, the Early Riser Strategy. Also last episode I reviewed New Hampshire, New Jersey, and New Mexico slot machine casino gambling. In New Hampshire, casinos are banned. But charitable casino-style gaming has spread due to the charity provision in state laws. In New Jersey, slots consists of 7 casinos located in Atlantic City. And last but not least, I explained how New Mexico has 27 tribal casinos and racinos with slot machines. I hope you enjoyed listening to my last episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Let's get started with the first segment of the show, Reliable Holiday Patterns. You're never guaranteed a taxable jackpot, no matter what you do. You are simply trying to improve your winning odds here and there as opportunities, such as reliable and winning holiday patterns, present themselves. All careful players are trying to do is choose times when their odds of winning are slightly improved, thereby moving the dial on their personal payout return percentage from around the low 90s to slightly over 100%, which is when making a gambling profit happens. Again, making money rather than losing money is the intent here. Whether your gambling goal is to spend this money on your own entertainment, earning more comps, or taking it home is entirely up to you. By using your own gambling records, the time around holidays can offer a winning opportunity you can take advantage of yourself. It may take you a year to learn how the casinos you frequent on holidays are set up to financially respond to holiday crowds. But in lieu of you having your own gambling records for holidays, I am offering you the reliable holiday patterns I've discovered over the last few years at my own nearby casinos in Ohio. This segment has the following subsections. 1. An introduction. 2. Major and not so major U.S. holidays at casinos. 3. Data mining your gambling records for holiday wins. 4. A special type of casino special event. Holidays. 5. Winning early in the morning the day after holidays. 6. My largest taxable jackpot so far. And 7. A summary. The last few months of each year bring 3 major holidays to the United States, including Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. There are also so-called almost holidays immediately before and after, like Black Friday after Thanksgiving Day, as well as Christmas and New Year's Eves. Certainly these holidays and almost holidays are very busy days at casinos due to their holiday status. Given the frankly tremendous casino attendance usually seen on each of these 6 days, it was relatively difficult to pick up stable gambling patterns. But I did learn a few reliable holiday patterns. These patterns can be applied to the other holidays of the year. Further, you can apply them to other almost holidays, such as Derby Day. Perhaps you are surprised at just how busy casinos can get on holidays. It's usually not so busy on Christmas morning, but the casino buffet line can be quite long at dinner on Christmas Day. Hopefully you won't be as surprised as I was to discover firsthand how busy any casino, but especially U.S. racinos, are on the day when the Kentucky Derby horse race is run. The first time I was at a casino on Derby Day, unbeknownst to me at the time, I remember arriving early one year at the Prairie Meadows Racetrack and Casino just east of Des Moines, Iowa, and after a while I began noticing how incredibly busy it was. Plus, what was up with all the great hats? The great hats are a Derby Day tradition, if you didn't already know that. Do you have your own great hat? I certainly hope it's got a big feather. Looking back through my financial gambling records, I can say that I have indeed won an individual taxable jackpot on a major holiday or on its associated eve or after day. On the morning of Thanksgiving Day, only a few years ago, I won 3 taxable jackpots playing slot machines. These jackpots were for $2,500, $2,400, and $1,600. These jackpots were won at 3:35 a.m., 4 a.m., and 12:01 p.m., respectively. Unfortunately, my gambling records from that time are not as complete as they would eventually become, as that holiday was less than 2 weeks after my return to gambling after having been away for almost 10 years. Going further with my later gambling records, I can see that based on non-taxable jackpots earned and amount of bankroll cycling that collectively occurred on holidays, it is an excellent time to attend a casino between these major holidays. I'll mention at this point that keeping good gambling records is well worth doing. It is, of course, great for preparing for filing your annual income tax returns. But it is also excellent for analyzing just such gambling performance for the casinos near you. For example, did you go to the casino last year on New Year's Eve? How did you do? And based on your own gambling records for that casino which you attended, what should you do this next to New Year's Eve? For those interested in more details on gambling record keeping for slots enthusiasts, see my podcast episode number 28, Gambling Record Keeping in Mississippi Slots 2018, with show notes available at professorslots.com/E28. The reliable holiday pattern is, in some ways, very similar to my previous discernible winning pattern regarding special events. I mentioned this when I last spoke about my slots winning strategy 4, which is all about the winning advantages of casino with special events. With special events, I've won many taxable jackpots when attending casinos not long after the large crowd from the night before has left, but before the new day has quite begun. This winning strategy can also be applied by treating major holidays as another casino special event. In case you haven't already learned about the casino special events winning strategy, I'll briefly go over it here. For full details, take a listen to my last podcast episode number 33 with show notes available at professorslots.com/E33. As with special events, the best time I've found for these winning occasions are between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning after a casino has had a large crowd the night before. When I've come in the morning after such days between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., this effect seems to not exist any longer. Casino special events such as holidays include a hidden advantage, which results in an improved slots gambling performance. But there is a downside, having to visit the casino very early in the morning. The most reliable pattern I discerned was to come in after the crowds had mostly gone home, say around 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. the next day. This means attending the mornings after major holidays and the mornings after almost holidays, like Saturday morning after Black Friday or any casino on the day after the Kentucky Derby. What I'd noticed was that the casino wanted to give out jackpots to keep individuals in the crowd happy by winning jackpots or seeing others win jackpots. As I've explained in detail in Winning Strategy 4, given such large crowds, the casino was likely doing quite well in terms of revenue, so paying out a few or even a lot of jackpots would hardly negatively impact the corresponding huge amount of revenue coming in. However, it seemed as though the casino kept giving out jackpots even after the crowds had gone home. By 8 a.m. or most certainly by 10 a.m. the next morning, they generally stopped doing that. But when I went in early after a big night for the casino, I could generally pick up one or more taxable jackpots at little expense. On the morning of Thanksgiving Day, I won 3 taxable jackpots. At the time, I wasn't tracking special events, so I do not have a record as to whether or not a special event was held that Wednesday evening. Knowing how casinos operate, I suspect they most certainly did. If they did not, then it would have been a missed opportunity for their business. I won none the following day on Black Friday, but my records show that I didn't come in very early that day. I won my largest taxable jackpot to date a few days before Christmas Day for $27,000. This rather large jackpot, at least it is to me, happened at 5:40 a.m. It was the second of 4 taxable jackpots I won between starting playing slots at 5 a.m. and finally stopping at 8:40 a.m. As was my habit when winning taxable jackpots, I like to get the cash. After paying the required state taxes, this $27,000 jackpot amounted to $25,353 in cash. This was the first time I won a jackpot worth more than $5,000. Because I requested cash, I learned 3 surprising things when the jackpot was paid out. 1. The casino slot attendant needed to be accompanied by a floor manager for approving any jackpot of $10,000 or more. 2. The casino slot attendant did not count out the individual $100 bills into my hand, but rather set down a banded bundle of 100 $100 bills. And 3. I also learned the pockets of my jeans would only hold $20,000, plus a mobile phone, without any $100 bills peeking out. Who knew? In the days afterwards, I traveled to see distant family over the Christmas holiday that year, so I have no recorded data for that potential winning opportunity. Mostly, I was just trying to absorb having won 45 taxable jackpots in 42 straight days over a total of 18 casino visits. I returned a few days after that Christmas to win 3 taxable jackpots over a period of 35 minutes, starting 10 minutes after I began playing at 4:45 a.m. on Saturday morning after a busy Friday night at the casino. This was during the weekend between Christmas and New Year's. I didn't win any taxable jackpots on the day after, on Sunday, but then again I had not arrived until 7:45 a.m. that morning. In summary, reliable holiday patterns are a type of casino special event, but worth mentioning as a separate winning strategy. This is because non-holiday casino special events typically have a smaller attendance at the casinos than casinos do on most major holidays. Holidays are casino special events, but the winning advantage for holidays is even greater than special events. I guess you could say holidays are special events. Keep a good financial gambling record, possibly even with observational notes on each casino visit, because it is useful in so many different ways. One of these useful ways is they provide the opportunity to find winning strategies in your own gambling patterns. But if you don't keep your own gambling records, then consider the reliable winning patterns I've found in my own gambling records. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the second segment of the show on slot machine casino gambling. Here I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in 3 U.S. states, territories, or federal district, emphasizing, by far, anything of interest to slot machine casino gamblers. Up first is New York Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. New York slot machine casino gambling currently consists of 23 casinos and pari-mutuel racinos. These include 9 pari-mutuel wagering racinos, all with slot machines, 6 Class 3 American Indian tribal casinos with Las Vegas-style gaming, including slots, 4 Class 2 American Indian casinos with bingo-style gaming, 3 commercial casino resorts, with a 4th that opened in mid-2018. 2 Canadian casino resorts located in Ontario across the Canadian border from Buffalo, and cruise ships departing from the New York Manhattan Cruise Terminal. Slot machines at Class 3 American Indian tribal casinos in the state of New York are actually video lottery terminals controlled by the New York State Lottery, which are required by state law to have a minimum payout return of 92%. Betting results for slot machines at commercial casinos and pari-mutuel racinos are controlled on location per usual machine internal microchip or casino central server. No minimum payout return appears to be available, but actual payout returns are publicly available for the 4-month fiscal quarters of each year. The legal age for gambling is 21 for casinos run by the Seneca Nation of Indians through the Seneca Gaming Corporation, but 18 for all other casinos in the state of New York. American Indian tribal casinos in the state of New York only had Class II bingo halls from 1988 with the launch of the Federal Indian Gaming Regulatory Act through 1993. In 1993, the first Class III Las Vegas-style gaming casino opened after a state tribal compact was negotiated with the federally recognized St. Regis Mohawk tribe. Slot machines at tribal casinos in New York are video lottery terminals, which is often abbreviated as VLTs, and controlled by the New York State Lottery. These electronic games are typical video slot machines, with the exception that the results of a bet are determined by the central lottery system. By state law, these VLT slot machines are required to have a minimum payout return of 92%. No actual payout return statistics are publicly available. At non-tribal casinos, the results of a bet on a slot machine is not determined by the state lottery server, but instead by a microchip in the machine itself or by a central computer located at the casino. A minimum payback return percentage for non-tribal casinos does not appear to be publicly available. However, actual payout return statistics are publicly reported by the State Gaming Commission, as I will discuss momentarily. Quite interestingly, and this is not the only section of this document which is highly interesting, the State Gaming Regulations has a section 5319.45, Software Requirements for Percentage Payout. While I could paraphrase what it says, the actual wording is interesting. So, in their words, it reads, A. If progressives, bonus systems, merchandise, and so on are external to a game's prize pool, the values shall not be included in the percentage payout calculation. The independent testing laboratory approved by the Commission shall provide the minimum and maximum theoretical payout percentage for the game within a certification report, unless otherwise noted. Additional external awards added to a game shall require a reevaluation of the theoretical payout percentage, considering the value of the reward and other relevant factors. The independent testing laboratory approved by the Commission shall reevaluate a game's theoretical payout percentage when requested. B. Gaming devices that may be affected by player skill shall meet the requirement of this section when using a method of play that will provide the greatest return to the player over a period of continuous play. C. The minimum percentage requirement shall be met when playing at the lowest end of a nonlinear pay table. That is to say, if a game is continuously played at a minimum bet level for the cycle of the game and the theoretical return to the player is lower than the minimum percentage, then such pay table is not permissible. D. Double up or gamble options shall have a theoretical return to the player of 100%. End of quote. Yes, that was a bit of a mouthful, but those of you who gamble in the state of New York may find some advantage tucked away in there if you study it more closely. I plan to in the future. Next up is a relatively short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. It is legal to privately own a slot machine in the state of New York if it is 30 years old or older. In 2012, the New York State Division of Lottery was merged with the New York State Racing and Wagering Board to create the New York State Gaming Commission. As a result, the New York State Gaming Commission regulates all aspects of gaming activity in the state of New York, including 1. All forms of parimutuel wagering, including harness and thoroughbred horse racing. 2. Class 3 tribal gaming, where it maintains a 24-hour presence and verifies employees. 3. State lottery, which includes video lottery terminals in and outside of casinos. And 4. Charitable gaming. The New York State Gaming Commission has a relatively long mission statement on their About webpage, which I will forego reading to you. In brief, it says all the usual excellent things we've come to see in mission statements from state gaming boards. It uses phrases like ensuring lawful gaming, conducting themselves with the highest integrity, protecting consumers in a responsive and effective manner, and etc. Further, the Commission provides the general public with both monthly and weekly commercial gaming reports for each commercial casino resort on their gaming webpage. Payout return percentages for slot machines are publicly available for both the commercial casinos as well as pari-mutuel wagering casinos. These reports are available for each quarter of a year. For the second quarter of 2017, the following payout returns were reported to the Commission. Batavia Downs Gaming and Hotel had 91.54% payout return. Del Lago Resort and Casino had a 91.01% payout return. Empire City Casino had a 93.10% payout return. Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack had a 91.90% return. Hamburg Gaming at the Fairgrounds had a 91.49% return. Jake's 58 Hotel and Casino had a 93.27% return. Monticello Gaming and Racetrack had a 92.21% return. Resorts World New York City had a 94.14% return. Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady had a 90.30% return. Saratoga Casino Hotel had a 92.21% return. Tioga Downs had a 91.43% return. And Vernon Downs Casino Hotel had a 91.44% return. From this list, Resorts World New York City had the highest reported payout return of 94.14%. This was followed closely by Jake's 58 Hotel and Casino at 93.27%. The lowest reported payout return is Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady at 90.30%, followed closely by Del Lago Resort and Casino at 91.01%. The largest casino in the state of New York is the Resorts World Casino, New York City. It operates approximately 5,550 gaming machines and 475 table games. The second largest is the Seneca Niagara Casino and Hotel in Niagara Falls, operating approximately 3,300 gaming machines and 100 table games. In late 2013, the New York State Legislature created 4 commercial casino resort licenses. 3 have already opened. The fourth, Resorts World Catskills, opened in mid-2018. All casinos in the state of New York, plus 2 nearby Canadian casinos across the border from the Buffalo-Niagara area, are listed in my website article on New York Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018, available as a link in this podcast episode's show notes at professorslots.com/E34, or you can go directly to professorslots.com/NY. On this list of 25 casinos that you'll find there, I provide the casino website, town, and whether or not it is a tribal casino, a non-tribal casino, or a casino racetrack facility having VLT slots. If it is a tribal casino, I further note whether it offers either Class 2 bingo-style slots or the more typical Class 3 Las Vegas-style slot machines. In summary, New York Slot Machine Casino Gambling currently consists of 25 casinos and pari-mutuel casinos, including 2 Canadian casinos across the border from Buffalo. Cruise ships with onboard casinos also depart from the New York Manhattan Cruise Terminal. Video lottery terminals exist at Class 3 tribal casinos in the state of New York. These actual slot machines are controlled by the New York State Lottery and are required by state law to have a minimum payback return of 92%. Actual payout returns for slot machines at commercial casinos and pari-mutuel casinos are publicly available for the 4-month fiscal quarters of each year. Remember to visit professorslots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is North Carolina Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. North Carolina Slot Machine Casino Gambling consists entirely of 2 American Indian tribal casinos, established by negotiated state tribal gaming compacts subsequently approved by the U.S. Department of the Interior. Tribal casinos in North Carolina are not required to provide payback return percentages to the state, but must maintain a payback return on all video machines to be between 83% and 98%. Further, video games are required to be games of skill or dexterity, so slot machines in North Carolina operate differently than might otherwise be generally expected. The minimum legal age for gambling in North Carolina is 21. North Carolina has a single federally recognized American Indian tribe, the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. The tribe has built 2 casinos on its Qualla boundary lands located in the Great Smoky Mountains. The tribe also operates a high-stakes bingo hall. Video poker machines were once widespread in the state, but in 2000, state regulations were enacted which limited video poker machines to 3 per location, as well as banning the installation of any new machines. After nearly a half-dozen attempts, state legislature finally completely banned commercially owned video poker machines and video gaming machines in 2007. The State Tribal Gaming Compact between the state of North Carolina and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, which allows video games of skill or dexterity, is available online. In part, it defines video game as an approved Class 3 game, which is defined as, quote, video game means any electronic video game or amusement device that allows a player to play a game of amusement involving the use of skill or dexterity, end quote. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is legal to privately own a slot machine in the state of North Carolina if it is 25 years old or older. With regards to a gaming control board, North Carolina does not have a state gaming commission. North Carolina's casinos, both tribal casino establishments, have types of skill or dexterity-based video slot machines. The 2 casinos in North Carolina are owned by the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians tribe, but operated by Harrah's, which is a division of Caesars Entertainment. These 2 casinos are, 1. Harrah's Cherokee Casino in the town of Cherokee, and 2. Harrah's Cherokee Valley River Casino and Hotel in the town of Murphy. In summary, North Carolina has long resisted expansion of gambling. North Carolina slot machine casino gambling consists of 2 American Indian tribal casinos. Both tribal casinos are operated by Caesars Entertainment, but wholly owned by the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians by use of the Federal Indian Gaming Regulatory Act of 1988. Tribal casinos in North Carolina are not required to provide payback returns to the state, but are required to provide payback return percentages of at least 83% to a maximum of 98%. Further, North Carolina slot machines are legally required to be video games of skill or dexterity. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Up next is the third and last of 3 states comprising this episode segment, North Dakota Slot Machine Casino Gambling 2018. Here goes. North Dakota Slot Machine Casino Gambling currently consists of 5 Native American tribal casinos. As required by the negotiated state tribal gaming compacts approved by the U.S. Department of the Interior in 2013, gaming machines have a payout return between 80% and 100%. Slot machines at tribal casinos are allowed a maximum total bet of $25. North Dakota also has a wide selection of sites, over 800 locations statewide, for charitable gaming. Blackjack is common, as is bingo, pull tabs, punch boards, 21, Calcuttas, sports pools, paddle wheels, and poker. However, there are no legally allowed slot machines at these locations. There are also 2 racetrack parimutuel facilities, Chippewa Downs and North Dakota, as well as a series of off-track betting locations in the state. Again, there are no legally allowed slot machines at these locations. The minimum legal age for gambling in North Dakota tribal casinos is 21. Most charitable gaming sites also have a minimum legal age of 21 restriction, with bingo being the exception where a minor may play bingo if accompanied by an adult. On March 11, 2013, the U.S. Department of the Interior approved 5 negotiated state tribal gaming compacts allowing Class 3 casino-style gambling at American Indian tribal casinos in North Dakota. At these tribal casinos, the maximum bet is limited to $25. Video games of skill, such as video poker and video blackjack, have a minimum payout return of 83%. Typical slot machines are required via the State Tribal Gaming Compact to have a payout return of at least 80%. Regarding slot machine private ownership, it is legal to privately own a slot machine in the state of North Dakota if it is 25 years old or older. The North Dakota State Gaming Commission is a division of the Attorney General's office. This gaming division is responsible for 1. Charitable gaming, 2. Tribal gaming, and 3. North Dakota Lottery. With regards to charitable gaming, quote, the gaming division enforces and administers charitable gaming in North Dakota, performs audits and investigations of gaming organizations, reviews gaming tax returns, administrative complaints, and provides training for charitable gaming organizations, end quote. With regards to tribal gaming, quote, the gaming division also enforces the tribal state gaming compacts, which authorize the state's Native American tribes to conduct gaming at casinos on tribal land. The division conducts random inspections at the state's 5 Indian casinos to ensure game integrity and compliance with wager limits and prize payout ratios, end quote. With regards to the North Dakota Lottery, quote, the North Dakota Lottery is responsible for administering, regulating, enforcing, and promoting the state's lottery, end quote. The largest casino in North Dakota is the Dakota Magic Casino Resort in Hankinson. It has 1,001 gaming machines and 18 table games. The second largest casino is Sky Dancer Hotel Casino and Resort in St. Michael, having 820 gaming machines and 10 table games. The 5 casinos in North Dakota are 1. Dakota Magic Casino Resort in Hankinson. 2. Four Bears Casino and Lodge in Newtown. 3. Grand Treasure Casino in Trenton. 4. Prairie Knights Casino and Resort in Fort Yates. And 5. Sky Dancer Hotel Casino and Resort in St. Michael. Again, typical slot machines are required via the State Tribal Gaming Compact to have a payout return of at least 80%. With video games of skill being limited to 83%. Monthly gaming statistics are not publicly available, as the state tribal gaming compacts for these American Indian tribal casinos do not require them. In summary, North Dakota slot machine casino gambling currently consists of 5 tribal casinos. Typical slot machines are required to have a minimum payout return of 80%, or 83% for video poker, video blackjack, and other video games of skill. Maximum bets are $25. North Dakota also has a wide selection of charitable gaming sites, 2 racetrack pari-mutuel facilities, and an assortment of off-track betting sites. However, slot machines are not legally allowed at these locations. The largest casino in North Dakota is the Dakota Magic Casino Resort in Hankinson, which is about 50 miles south of Fargo. The second largest is Sky Dancer Hotel Casino and Resort in St. Michael, which is located about 120 miles northeast of Minot. Remember to visit ProfessorSlots.com/subscribe to get my free report revealing the top 7 online resources for improving your gambling performance, including the one I've used as a top-tier slot machine casino gambler. Part 1 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast is still under consideration. Frankly, there are so many interesting topics to mention that I've been spending some time lately trying to get a bit more organized about which ones I want to present on. As you are a slots enthusiast listening to my podcast, I hope and expect that your ears pricked up when I said that. Yes, this is a winning opportunity right here for you. Until I plan out my next 100 or so episodes, you currently have a rather open opportunity to offer a topic you are interested in. If you do have such a topic, let me know on Twitter at @ProfessorSlots, or by using my podcast voicemail hotline at 937-696-0086, or simply emailing me at jon@professorslots.com. Part 2 of the next episode of the Professor Slots podcast will be more brief overviews of the current state of gambling in 3 U.S. states, territories, or federal districts. Next time, I'll be talking to you about the great U.S. territory of Northern Mariana Islands, as well as the great U.S. states of Ohio and Oklahoma. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Show notes for this episode are now available within most podcast apps, but are also available on my website at professorslots.com/E34. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make good choices. Bye.